Hello, everyone. Welcome to Toyeen Talks. Wow. Thank you for your likes, subscribes. Thank you for watching our videos. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Till I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you all. Bye.
Emotional distress to people. Please, 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 I am pleading. Because if it is another lady, if it is another parent, nobody know what could have happened since last week Monday or thereabout. It can run a woman crazy. The woman can commit suicide. The woman can commit suicide and anything can happen. Even the husband. A lot of father doesn't stay with autistic patients. Many of them run away and leave their moms to face these troubles. Please, I am pleading. Let us take caution. Let us take caution. And for you, Han, God Almighty that has started well with your daughter, we finish and perfect it to the glory of God in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and everybody. Thank you. God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Mommy One with God. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to bring the doctor. Who's going next, please? Is it Mommy Rianu or Justice for
Justice for Mohbad.
Oh, just
I
from
think
God.
I'm next.
All right, ma. Go ahead.
Okay, it's just a piece of advice, and to those parents who are going through this situation, having autistic children, mostly justice. Since you are in Nigeria, there are some parents now they are watching in. I have a knowledge and understanding of how to deal with them. I will advise that as a parent, do it alone. Having an autistic child is like you need support from is like caring for the whole community. So you must continue having to get the support. Don't think you can do it alone. You cannot do it alone. It's a difficult job. It's drilling. It's exhausting. So I will advise that you look for look for help as much as you can. Look for the support that you need as a parent caring for an autistic child. You need your own support. Like in UK, yeah, they call it carers break. As a parent, if you are in UK, yeah, as a parent caring for an autistic child, you are entitled for a parent's break where the child will be taken to respite. It's called respite. You have 2 weeks break to go on holiday, a break from the child. They look after the child. They have the center, the supported living accommodation where they kept the children. They are well looked after. Don't be scared. Don't worry or feeling that, oh, maybe the child will be abused. Is there is a very strong law in UK here where you cannot abuse a child because of the child's behavior. It's a criminal offense. They cannot physically or sexually abuse your child. You need a break as a parent caring for a child with autistic. You need that break. It's your entitlement. 2 weeks, they will look after the child for you. You have your space from the child to look after yourself so you don't go depressed, you don't go stressed up. You need that support. Some parents doesn't want to have it. They feel like because they are so bond with that child, and the good part of it, any parents with autistic child, they love that child. That child is so unique to them. than any other children they have. So they're so born to that child that they don't even want the child out of their sight. But we do understand that you love your child, but you still need a break for yourself to look after yourself as well, being a carer towards your autistic child. Then justice made sure that is it justice or one with God saying that some are on medication. So what about those that are not on medication? How do you calm them down? There are other things you can calm your child down, calm your child that has autistic without medication, because some parents, they will invite them to the psychology and psychiatric and the physiotherapies, and yes, they will invite them to discuss medication, other options with them. Some parents doesn't like to want their child to take medication. So you must ready to create activities for your child, create a routine, go take them for swimming, get them swimming classes. If you are in Nigeria, try to get your child into swimming classes, which is happening here in UK as well, to other Europe country. Create activities, get a routine. They like routine. You must create a lot of activities for them. Keep them busy. Take them to the park. Explore their energy, because they are very strong children. They have so much energy that we don't have. So you make sure you create activities that will keep them busy around the clock, because they can't stick one place. Some of them don't stick to one place. So when you create activities, now and next, it's called now and next. When you create one activities for them, that this is what you're going to be doing now, and you make a timetable. When they finish these activities, you engage them with the next activities and follow on and on and on like that, and give them break to explore themselves, to move around, explore, have their own space as well. That will help without medication. But those that are taking medication, you still need all these activities to keep the child busy. And I will advise any parents that have autistic child, don't isolate your child. You're not helping them. If you isolate them, they don't know what is happening out there, because some of them, when they go into the bus, when they go to the bus, when they're in a bus ride or in a train, they put their hands in their ear, they are screaming. You must engage them with that, because this is the world they have come to. So don't deprive them of going to taking a bus or going on a train. Don't care about what people look at or what they're looking at, or because I've worked with parents who has autistic, and when we go on a bus ride, you see the passenger saying, "Oh, can you stop the child from screaming?" We just ignore them. We don't speak to them, because we expect them to understand that this child is different from the child they are holding. And some, like one, I have to comfort one and say, "Look, this child has a special needs." So I don't care if the child has a special needs. Keep the child from quiet. I say, well, you go get a private car. Get a private car. This is a public bus. Anybody can enter the public bus. They are entitled to enter the bus. So don't deprive them, because the more they use to the bus, the crowd, the noise, the better for them. Rather than isolating them in a private car, private things going on, it will not help them. But with time, if you engage them with the private bus and the train, let them used to the noise, not all the time, once in a while, take them to those places, let them experience it, they will grow out of it, they will overgrow it and get used to the community and the public, rather than isolating them. I know of a parents who, very early in the morning, that's when she will take her two sons to the park. She doesn't take them to the park at from 12 or 1 p.m. because that's the crowd there. So I encourage her that once in a while, take him there, let him mingle, let him play with other children so he can learn. If you isolate your child, you are not helping the child, because you feel that, oh, people will look at him, or they will be hungry, or he's pushing other children, hitting them. You follow the child. If he's running, like what justice says, that when the child is running, he was running with the child. So if your child is running, try to hurt someone or another child. Try to protect the child. Be in the middle to protect the other child from your child not hurting them. So they will get used to mingle around the other people. And this will help their development, because it's a development delay. It has to do with their development. So you can do this with them, help them. Don't isolate your child. Don't feel ashamed of what you have. Bring them out. Mingle them in the society. They belong to the society. You can't deprive them from other children because they're going to look at you that, oh, they are not like them. You don't care. You don't want to know. You are trying to build your child to the society and to to socialize to help them socialize, because they have problem with socializing, behavior issues. It can trigger, they can be aggressive, they can physically, emotionally be aggressive. So you have to help them to break that out of them. Then again, there's one thing I noticed with autistic. I've worked with parents who told me that, I think it's spiritual. They possess my child with this behavior. I told her, look, this has nothing to do with spiritual. Oh, my pastor in Nigeria, they prophesied that the child has a spiritual problem. I said, this is not spiritual. This is your child, when he was growing in your tummy, did not form properly the way it's supposed to form. So tell your pastor that this is not helping you, because now you think so there are kind of spirit in your child body when there's no spirit. It's just the way the child decide to grow or to develop in your tummy, and you give birth to delay development. So it's not has to do with spirit. So anybody that has autistic child, please, don't believe that it has to do with spiritual or one devil or one witchcraft in your family that possess your child to become autistic. This, that. Yes, prayer works. You can pray for the child to calm, to for God to grammatically change the child, and some of them grow out of it. I have seen autistic who grow out of it. The condition is still there, but they were able to grow out of it because of the help and the support the parents got, and the way they mingle them in the society, not isolated them. They were able to mingle around and follow the way the system operates, the way people operate. They do like that. So please, I will advise you that there's no spiritual or one evil or demon inside your child's body that is making your child behave like that. So please, just be aware. Some parents don't say aware of this. They think that it's spiritual problem. It's not spiritual. It's who that child wants to be. So I will advise all parents to look for help and create activities, get a routine done. And again, some children, when they start this behavior, some parents will start being hyper or stressed up or very intense. When your child is having that challenging behavior issues, dropping his or herself on the floor, rolling around, punching her head or his head, you as a parent, you have to calm down. Take a deep breath, relax, and leave the child to roll anywhere he wants to roll. I work with them. So, but all you need to do, clear off the house, or if it's outside, clear off everywhere where there's nothing that will harm the child. If he wants to roll, he wants to hit himself on the floor, as far as it's not gonna harm the child, let him explore himself. He's trying to pull out hunger. Some of them don't communicate. So when they don't communicate, that challenging behavior comes in. Exactly. So because they can't communicate. So the only way they could communicate is to latch out. It will be aggressive. So they can go into action. So they are not stubborn. Don't see them as a stubborn person. They are trying to communicate, but they could not. So what they could do is to be aggressive towards you or towards anybody around them. So what you need to do, is to be vigilant, be alert, and try to protect them, not to harm someone else or to harm themselves. So this is who they are. This is who they are. They are very smart. They are very intelligent. They are computer wizard. And they are very good artists when you come to autistic. They are very good in artists. They are computer wizard. I could remember there's this man name, I can't remember off the top of my head. There's this guy who interrupt the American security system. He's an autistic man. So they are very smart, they are very intelligent as well. So they are not all damaged. They have unique things that God gifts them. They have a unique gift there that God have given to them. Once you can follow them with the routine and the one-to-one support and every support you need, and put everything in place, your child will excel. They will live a normal life. They will be like me and you. Everything will be fine. So please don't isolate. The strong advice, don't isolate your autistic child. Explore them out to the society.
Thank you.
They belong to the society. Thank you so much for having me. That's my submission.
Thank you very much. Justice for Imole. Mommy Orente.
Justice for Mohbad.
Justice for Mohbad. Yeah, thank you. Mommy Orente, please let us have aristocrat. Is it okay for us to have mommy quickly? I know you're gonna give us a vibrant.
You could go ahead.
Thank you very much, aristocrat. Mommy Oriente, good evening, ma. How are you, my mommy? You good?
Fine, fine, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Miss Anne. The Lord is your strength, and the Lord will continue to strengthen you in all you do for your daughter. I don't have a child that's autistic, but I mean, mine is a little bit different. I had my child at a very late age, and then I was 53 when I got pregnant, and then I live in the US, and the doctor was like, okay, we have to do this, do that, do that. And he asked me a question, said, we're going to test her for the child for autism, for this, for that, for that, for that. I said, okay. So I now asked the doctor a question. I said, okay, what if she's autistic? What are you trying to tell me? He said, well, he now crossed his fingers, like kind of telling me, I don't have to tell you what to do, but you should know what to do. And in my head there and then I just said to myself, if that is what God is giving me, God is going to give me because God knows I can handle it. So that's why so whatever God gives me is what I'm going to take. I don't have a control, over that. And well, lo and behold, I had my child, and then she came out good and all that. But I teach in my church, and in my church that I teach in the children's church. And in my class with about 20 kids, I have about 20 kids. And of the 20 kids, about 8 of them have autism. So I've learned 2 lessons, this night from this educative program that session that we're having. That when they do something, you do with them. We are just teachers in the children's church, and we're just teaching them with love. We don't have any other way of explaining. We just, okay, if this is our child, this is what we only teach, we only talk to them with love. And how many hours do they spend with us on Sunday? Maybe just 3-4 hours at most if I do the first and the second service. So I only have 4 hours with them. So in those 4 hours, we just try to handle them with love and all that. But from what everybody is saying this night, I see, when they give example, I say, oh, that's good. There's a particular one that will hold the ears. Anytime we're doing praise and worship, she will just put her hands in the ears. That's the one that doesn't like noise. I learned that, I'm seeing that now today. And then there's another one that will just be in the middle of the service, we just start yelling. I also learned that. So when I get to church tomorrow, I'm going to tell my fellow ladies in the class that, this is another thing that I've learned that, when they're doing this, we might not, yell as much as they do, but, we also put up a sound, when they put their hands in the ears, we also do that. I've learned a lot, from what we have done this evening that, this is another way, to care for them when they do this attitude, you do with, and like we all know, they're children with special needs. To me, all I just know that I'm not a nurse with kids, but I just know that you just have to, liaise with them, with love. And another thing I learned from Anne, is the power of confession. When she said her mother said to her, every child or grandchild that comes out from me will speak. And lo and behold, maybe in the space of 5 years, when I heard the girl's voice, I had goose pimples over me. When she said the last thing, she said that what God cannot do does not exist. Really, what God cannot do does not exist. And that little girl, is a testimony, to that. And then also justice, in my language, I'm Yoruba, they say atori ikanshi kan lolorun, meaning God does this one because of this one. So if probably you didn't have that child, you probably won't be an advocate, even though your beautiful daughter has gone to be with the Lord. But you're kind of carrying on, still educating, people, creating awareness on, or how people should, treat children with autism. And I know that in our culture that, people hide, their children. Because I remember I have an uncle that the child, way back then, I'm just trying to know now that was cerebral palsy, but the child will be indoors, they will lock the child inside. The girl doesn't come out. The girl probably died when she was 23. But I'll tell you that in those 23 years of her life, maybe the time she came out of the room was when they took her to the doctor's appointment. She's always locked indoors. So those are things that I've known, I just want to encourage everybody that's having a child that's dealing with a child that has special needs. You guys are warriors. And then before I forget, when I was in Nigeria, there's a woman, I think they call her Mrs. Onolaje or something. She has a home for special needs kids somewhere in Surulere, right? If you're coming maybe from Adeni Ogunsoya, before you just get on that bridge to come down to stadium or somewhere there, she has a home just by the right-hand side of the road if you're coming from Aguda, but if you're going from Tedosho, I think it's on the left-hand side. And this woman, she will care for those children, and she takes children with all kind of special needs, children that had, hydrocephalus, and then you will see the way she's caring for them with love, and then the thing would overwhelm me every time I see her, and she's getting a lot of support from people. She takes children from everywhere, she puts them there, and then she's taking good care of them. So I just want to admonish, all mothers, that are going through this, thing with their children, that God is your strength. The Lord will continue to uphold you. They're special children, and God has put them in your life, for a reason, and that reason, Anne said something that you don't know what motherhood is until you're tested with a child that has special needs, and which is true. You understand? So that's just my submission. I just want to say, God will uphold you all, and then God will give you the strength, and then at the end of the day, will be victorious, in terms of where these children are, concerned, in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you very much.
Nagata, my daughter is saying hi to you.
Hello, my goddaughter. Actually, I met Mommy Orente in September, and I met Eriolua, which I adopted as my goddaughter. Very beautiful, and it's a pleasure to meet you, ma. We met in Mohbad, and I've met you in person, and I spoke to Daddy as well. May Almighty God continue to bless your home, ma.
Amen. And, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Àmín, àmín lórúkọ Jésù, àmín lórúkọ Jésù, àmín lórúkọ Jésù, ẹ ṣé gan. Thank you. Ẹ lè drop èmi kẹ́lòmíì lè gòkè.
Okay, ma. So we're going to have Aristocrat. Then we have in the building Dr. Hi Ali. After Aristocrat, then we have Doctor to just summarize a little bit about the autistic children. And obviously, if we have any questions whatsoever, Doctor will be here to give an answer to that before we round up. Thank you very much, Mr. Aristocrat. Over to you, sir. God bless you, sir.
All right, good evening, Lagata. My first time here, anyways. It's quite interesting. First and foremost, I came to support my good friend, Anne, and also to support any other parents that has been saddled with the responsibility of taking care of a special child. First, I need to say something. ASD, that is autistic spectrum disorder, is a neurological disorder which is commonly with speech impediments, social interaction, and behavior. So, but just to lay the fact, all of us, we have neurological disorder somehow. As they used to say, all of us, we get madness. That is a disorder in itself. So I don't see anyone that do not have a challenge or the other. Some we feel they are okay, but they're actually not okay. The way they think, the way they interact, even those who do not exhibit all the identified attributes of autism, an autism child or person is better than them. So when people then go about to discriminate against each other, it shows the level of, how will I put it, unmature their minds and brains are. That is how I would like to put that. And I think it cuts across to everyone. For those who, because you have an issue with someone, you are cursing their family, their children, their friends, you also have a disorder. That itself is a disorder. because you should face who is dealing with you and not who they are related to. So I think I've seen a lot of disorder everywhere, especially in J4M. I've seen a lot of disorder, and I only pity them because other people with such disorder, their own cannot be clinically attended to except they do it themselves. But we thank God for the special children that have existed, and God has empowered their parents to do all they can to make sure that they grow. So I give my flowers to those parents, especially those who have shared their experiences, and those who are working with them. It shows that on a daily basis they see it. As a matter of fact, WHO tells us that 1% of the global population is autistic. So what is people's stress? Because out of 100 people you see, one of them is autistic. That is clinically proven. Anyway, under the autism spectrum disorder, 1% is 1 out of 100. So it is something we live in, but just as a people, the societal discrimination is always there. Even parents are ashamed. Why are they ashamed? Because of societal discrimination. So thank you very much, Lagata, for allowing your platform to be used as a pivot for us to discuss this. God bless you all. So for me, what I simply have to say is, it is not a disease, but it is a neurological disorder. So it's something that these people have to live with, and many of them are living with it. I've got friends that I don't have one of such, but I have friends, family friends, close relation, neighbors that had autistic children, and I relate with them. And these are wonderful individuals with great minds, especially they are good with STEM, because their mind is like calculator. But the challenge is to communicate it. But give them a pen. They will solve your problem even before you say it all. That shows they are specially made, just like the book of Psalms says, I'm wonderfully and fearfully made. And they are wonderfully made. And why people, I think the societal disorder is because they are jealous of them. Just like the poem of your deepest fear. Our deepest fear is because we are more powerful than we think. Some people have seen the ability of this world. The scientists of this world are autistic people, and they could see what they are doing, and somehow they're just jealous. And that is why I see them discriminating, because they are afraid of what they don't know, and people, because of their fears, they are afraid, and they create a kind of barricade and shows how stupid they are. Some people will even embrace someone with full mental disorder. When you say don't kulu, they go embrace a better pass autistic person. It shows how backward their minds are. So why I give kudos to everyone in the pediatrician space and people in the medical space who have worked with them. I think it is an opportunity for everybody to learn. I've learned a lot about this in the past. And I know of one of my good family friends. He's 40 now. He lives in America. He is brilliant. Aside his communication, it affects his movement and all that. But tell you what, if this boy writes, if this boy does what he has to do, you know good reach out. And the truth of it is, according to the medical terminologies, as it were, it is a spectrum. autism spectrum disorder because it has level. I think it's from level 1 to 5, according to American medical classification. It's like from 1 level to 5. In A is different. That is why they call them special children, because it is never the same with each of them. Never the same. Some are just being speech impaired. Some people are even autistic. They don't even know. They don't know because they are. They don't even know. They will have beaten them with different amure, carry them from one cherubim and seraphim to another celestial, to Babalawo, to Holy Ghost fire it out. They will have done plenty things to them. But all they need is actually care, understanding by the parent to understand their special need. And as a matter of fact, we all need special needs when we go to school, because we all learn through different things. I, for one, I learn a lot through music. Put anything in music, it will be in my head. Or put anything in visuals, it will be in my head. But I'm never diagnosed as that, but I would say I am too. Because it's a kind of disorder anyways. If I can't listen well, not just like every other person, it's a disorder. There are children who don't even concentrate. They are not autistic, but they just don't concentrate. And I know in advanced society, they have way to treat it as well. Everybody got baggage. But when someone then, because of beef, is using it to discriminate, it shows that they are the one with problems. So for any parents that anyone have used the condition, their own condition, or that of their children, against them, you don't have to bother, because those people are worse than the ones you are taking care of. You probably need to take care of them too, because they need to be taken care of. And that is how I see it. That is how I see it. But most importantly, I think where the education is more important is actually for us as a people to give these special persons, I won't say children now, these special persons, the love and care they deserve. To understand that even though you can walk straight, you can talk, you can do many things, you're not better than them, because you also have your own impediments. You know, some people are normal during the day, they are mad in the night. It is because their own is covered by the darkness. So you give kudos to the ones that have supported and are seeing and are improving on theirs. That shows the difference between us. So without saying much, for me, is simply for me to say, these are special people and they need all the help they could get. Also, someone was mentioning if it's hereditary. Yes, it's hereditary, but I think that is about 40%. But you find that a larger percentage of autistic people, they are more than those that are hereditary at times. You also find them in twins at times. But it is all about genetic mutilation, chromosomal, whatever the medical people could put to it. But most importantly is this. We are in a social space. We are adults. Children are meant to be protected. It is cynical. It is mad. It is stupid, and give it any form of derogatory nomenclature for any adults to put a child to abuse the parent. If I'm a magistrate of the world, such people need to be thrown into a 10-step dungeon below the earth until they get their brains set up. That is what I will say. And also, you can't say you are fighting for the benefit of one and your action is destroying others. It's not going to happen. We can't say because I am angry with Lagata, I go ahead to be cursing Lagata's wife, Lagata's friends. No, it is Lagata you have problem with. Face Lagata and leave the rest because they don't know you. And if anyone does that, I think what everybody should know is that the person is mad. So for anyone that don't really understand the depth of doing such stupid act, I would say, they need to learn more. We need to educate. Nobody knows it all. But when you do things, you give shit to people, and you can accept it, you don't give it out. You don't give it out. Even if someone crosses the line, you don't have to cross the line with them. There is always this saying, never argue with a fool, because if you do, people might not know the difference. So if Kowere is in the vicinity, when they are to pack Were, they will pack the two of you. It's a simple thing when someone is mad and the mad person throws a stone at you and you say, you are mad. And you know he's the one that is mad. What should you do? Just take a walk and go. Go and rob that place that he threw a stone at. Because if you throw a stone back and he does back, people will not know the difference. So it is the two of you that will be called mad people. And believe me, when you go to psychiatric home, everybody is mad, though. Everybody is mad. Because their test itself will run you mad. So for me, this is just a way I personally deal with mad people. I rather walk away from a stupid argument than being engaged in a stupid argument. Thank you very much, Lagata. And don't worry, now them decrease.
Thank you.
All right.
Aristocrat, thank you so much, brother, for coming to support this race. We really appreciate you. Thanks for coming. Yes, this is the first time. But before you go, sir, we'll still get talk. Let's have Dr. Ali. Please introduce yourself, sir. Dr. Ali, thanks for joining me.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we all can hear you. Comment section, can we? Is it audible?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
I hear you.
All right.
Loud and clear.
All right. I was a general practitioner and a urologist, and in fact, I was Legato's general practitioner for many years. I have retired. Okay, I have very little. GPs generally do not have much knowledge of autism, but of course they know it, and they can make kind of a rough idea of diagnosis and refer the patient to the consultant pediatricians or to the autism department. But what I have learned, I have much more knowledge than most GPs because I had 4 patients who were autistic. And in fact, one of my very, very good patients, his son is autistic. And in fact, we go on holidays and he comes along with us too. And I see the reactions, I see his behavior. But going back on to what I've heard from the last 3 speakers, especially, I don't know how to name them, Justice, and the other one was, I don't know, one before Justice. They gave a fantastic inference to autism, how to manage, how to behave, how to care for your autistic child. Autistic children are, yes, of course, like the previous person, aristocrat. They are like any other children of a parent. Yes, we all have some irregularities in even a most normal person will have some deficiency. You look at the most intelligent people in the world, you would say, oh, Albert Einstein was the cleverest guy, but he was an autistic guy. Yes, of course, I think I read somewhere Lionel Messi is also autistic. Many singers are, many celebrities are autistic. So at the end of the day, I mean, I have very little to say. These are children. They are like normal children. Yes, they may have a little deficiency, even a normal child. I mean, I have my daughter. My daughter is a doctor. My eldest daughter is a doctor too. And when she was young, and I remember what she did. I went to her bedroom. I said, "Darling, what is this?" She had actually taken the scissors and she had cut the top surface of the chair, the covering. And I said, "Darling, what is all that? Oh my God, what have you done?" She said, "Dad, I wanted to see what's underneath there." And I was laughing. Now, can you imagine this? So, what I want to say to, I don't know, is it Anne whose child is autistic here? Okay. I would say to you, enjoy your child. And one of the ladies I heard, yes, introduce your child to the outside world, not at certain specific time when there are loads and loads of people. Introduce them into the crowd. And yes, of course, they are very, very intelligent. And I did hear somebody saying they are really technocratically, they're so clever. And this person I was talking to you about, my very good friend, his son, Orlando, I mean, we went on a holiday to Spain, and my God, the movies he made of all of us with different faces. And I said, oh my God, this is so super. I mean, they are. Yes, of course, I've seen some other autistic children. Yes, of course. It all depends on a parent, how supportive the parents are. The parents have to be very, very supportive. And of course, treat the autistic child just like their other child, if they have other children. And perhaps sometimes a little bit more, spend more time on this child. Yes, we have a lot of support in England. And of course, in England too, you must have heard cases where the children, autistic children, other children are abused. Because at the end of the day, the carer himself perhaps did not have enough, caring qualities to look after these children, I mean, could not stand the way they behaved and therefore got a bit aggressive or blah, blah, blah. And you hear all this thing happening, stories all over the world, not only in England and America and Nigeria and everywhere, but it happens all over. So that is why parents have to be very, very observant. And I mean, you hear about in elderly care units, how some of the carers treat some of these people. And I remember there was a case where a lady, a young daughter, she actually placed a small indoor camera just to see how the carers were treating her mother, because the mother was getting bruises and all. And this was all picked up how they were treating them. And so my advice to you is, you have an autistic child, you look after that, you follow the child everywhere the child goes, meaning, I don't know, I'm not saying all the time. I mean, of course, you need respite too, of course, because sometimes they can be very unruly, but then like any other child, I mean, they can be unruly too. Of course, you go on a holiday, you see a normal child doing some stupid things, and the break and the fall and, what an advice given to you by the one before the last, one, I think I think the name was Justice.
Yeah, justice for Mohbad.
Or there was another one, I can't remember. He talked a lot.
That's justice for Mohbad. Ask the parents to go for respite.
She gave the whole story about an autistic child. I mean, this was just like a film. And she advised you what to do. And, as I said earlier on, and as the previous speaker said, we are all have some deficiencies. Of course we do. Even the highest, most cleverest person has got deficiency, and most cleverest person's deficiency is because he's too clever. Sorry. So that kind of be a difficult, deficiency too. So, you could be clever in one thing, but you cannot be clever in everything. So, so at the end of the day, I would say to you, enjoy your child, and that's just. And by the way, there are no medications. Okay, medications for these children are only symptomatic, because some may have bowel problems like constipation, may have seizures. I heard somebody saying one of the child was having. Yes, of course even normal children have seizures. They have constipation too. But it is all because of the habit of eating. You change their food a little and they get a bit annoyed. They stick to their guns, these autistic children, If you change their choice, they don't like it. So you need to, yes, I think the information given to you by everybody is just a lot more than what I'm saying to you. That period. So, I can all say to you is have a good day and a good night to you all.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
And,
Before you go, I don't know if type it. I can always ask on your behalf if you're in the comment section. If you're any panelists, please let us know if you have any questions to ask. Thank you.
Immediately, but I would. That's when I do. I will. But I want to say thank you, Doctor, and and also Justice for Mohbad, the lady that spoke, because most of the things is talked about. Yeah, but I think for her, my daughter, the only thing is I give her choices for meals. So you like this, you like that, and I try to just give her the normal foods. Luckily, she doesn't have certain kind of food she wants to eat or stuff like that. But all the notes and points shared, well taken. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
So, Doctor, I have a question for Doctor. Could you please share more light on the kind of food they are allowed to eat, of these children? Because I know of a parents who like to give a child fuzzy drink and so much energy drink. Could you just put a little bit of energy to the children? Already have so much sugar in their body system, and faucet drink is not good for them. If you can do natural organic drink for them, would be really helpful. They become and difficult to manage. So if you can limit the sugar intake of your, and again, to say this to all parents with children with autistic, trust me, I have seen a lot of autistic that dramatically change from one phase to another phase for better. They've grown out of it. And even the ones that could not grow out of it, but they have a potential children. So don't see yourself having a child that is waste. They are special. They are unique. They have been created by God. So don't regret or feel bad of having children like that. They are even better than the normal children that we think they are normal. I can bet you, I can bring it next time on this program. I will bring some art design things that autistic boy I know have done. Because of that art design, he was able to get into uni. He got into uni because he doesn't most of the they have different ways. They are different faces they are specializing. They specialize in some things in some area. Longer time, bring this up again. I will bring the art design. Because of this art design, this boy can able to draw very well. He was able to get admission into uni. So they are very special people. They are unique. Even me that is not autistic, that have not been diagnosed autistic, I can't draw like that boy. You can imagine that gifted thing he got from his autistic. So kudos to autistic children and adults. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sorry, I think somewhere along the line, I think something happened. I don't know. I got lost on this phone. I mean, Bati, I don't know what happened. Somebody did ask me about what and as I said, they can do anything they like.
If you receive a call for a while, you'll be disconnected. That's why.
Okay, yeah. All right. Look, if there are no more questions, I think I will just move on.
Okay, I think a lady asked a question, and Justice, what was the question again?
Yeah, actually, I asked the doctor if he can throw more light on the kind of food, because some parents, they do give their children energy drink and fuzzy drink, but they are not aware that it's not really good for the children. It can make them more hyper. If you can give some advice on that as well.
I think that is very important. Of course, any energy drinks, they can. Of course, some of the autistic children, they do suffer from hyperactivity and emotional. I mean, they have this thing which can interact with their condition. So it's better to give them sort of healthy food. Whatever you eat. Keep the caffeine content down a little. That's very important. Yeah. Teas and coffees, fresh fruits. They can eat any other kind of food, but drinks, yes, you're right. And alcohol too, of course. They should refrain from that. Alcohol and very fizzy drinks. But if there's a Coca-Cola and all this kind of thing, sometimes a child wants a Coke. They look at others, having Coke. Well, okay, you can have a little. Why keep him away from Coke? Because he's seeing other children having Coke. I mean, that would affect him mentally. Hey, wait a minute. Why my mother is not giving it to me? But yes, those energy drinks like Red Bull and all those things, I think even the government has put a legal limit, I think, who can buy in England and who cannot buy those things. So as far as food is concerned and fruits are concerned, they can eat what they like. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're listening. Can they limit the intake of Coca-Cola if they have to? Or can they not?